Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 6 of the Halloween Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing 20 Halloween themed Cricut projects in 20 days. 10 of the projects are designed by me and 10 are guest designer projects from some of my crafting friends. Today's project is by Natalie of nellydesign.com and it's these cute Halloween corner bookmarks. Natalie's mission is to help you create with confidence with your Cricut. She loves to laugh and firmly believes that there are no problems, only solutions. She's there to simplify your crafting journey and get you creating with confidence with your Cricut. These corner bookmarks are easy to make and will make an excellent non-candy alternative for Halloween gifts for trick-or-treaters. Or make one for yourself to curl up with a scary book on October 31st. The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. Register a free ticket for the Halloween Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/HCC23. If you're already registered, check for an email from me with subject line Halloween Craft Countdown ticket information or any of the other emails from me that you've been sent throughout the countdown. Can't find them? Check your junk or spam box to see if they've gone there by mistake. These emails contain the link to view the countdown projects and download today's files. Scroll down this page to find today's project. Click the button to start the files automatically downloading to your computer or mobile device. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/HCC23 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Halloween Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. All downloads come in zip folders. You will need to unzip them before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie and I'm the crafting girl behind the blog and YouTube channel nellydesign.com, where my goal is to help you create with confidence with your Cricut. Today we're going to be making a project that could very well be used as a no-sugar Halloween treat. They are super cute corner bookmarks and are very easy to make. You'll see, when you start making them, you just want to make more and give them to all your friends and family. So these are the 3 bookmarks we're going to make. We're going to make a web with a spider. We're going to make a little skull with a bow, and we're going to be making this cat that might be the most complicated of the bookmarks, but seriously, it is very simple to make. So for this project, you'll of course need a cutting machine. I have the Cricut Maker 3, but you can make this with the Maker, the Explorer 3, any machine, even the Joy. But for the Joy, you'll need to scale down the design. I'll show you later. For the rest of the materials, I have classified them in 3 categories. So this is what you'll absolutely need to make the project. Pretty easy: cardstock and glue, and a cutting mat. I'm using the blue cutting mat, but you can also use the green. It depends really on if the mat's really sticky or not. So really use your best judgment on this. I'm going to be using full sheets of white and black, but you can totally use your scrap for this, leftovers of all the colors, because these are tiny pieces we're going to be needing. So really use your leftovers of cardstock for this. It's really a good project for it. Then I'm marking this as optional, but if you have them, they are really convenient. It's the scoring stylus or the scoring wheel. If you have the Maker 3 or the Maker, you can use the scoring wheel. If you have the Explorer or even the Maker, you can use the scoring stylus. I'm also using some double-sided tape. This is optional. You can totally use glue, but it comes very convenient. I'm going to show you later. I also like to use a brayer to really apply the cardstock down on the mat and really secure it, make sure it sticks properly so the blade cuts perfectly. Also optional, but I like to do it, so I thought I should tell you about it. And last, I'm going to be using some ink and a little dauber like this. And sorry, a little Q-tips if you don't have the dauber, but I'm going to be inking my cardstock to give it some depth. Totally optional again. Last, you're going to see here that I have the little foil tip from the Joy. This is in case you're using a Joy. You're going to scale down the design, and instead of a scoring stylus, because the Joy doesn't have any scoring stylus, you can use the foil tip. Or you can also score by hand. But I thought I should mention this. I'm going to show you everything in Design Space right after that. So let's go right away. So first you're going to download the file that is below this video, and you're going to end up with a zip file. So a zip file is a compressed file. You need to unzip it to get access to the SVG files that you're going to import in Design Space. So to do that, you can double click, and I believe that if you have a Mac, it will unzip it right away. If you have a PC like I do, you'll need to come here and click on Extract All. So you're going to choose a destination where you want to save your file to keep it forever. And I'm just going to put them right here in the downloads for you, so you're going to see the difference. So if I extract them and I go back to my download folder, you're going to find that I have the zip file that is right here, and I have the unzip file. So this is the one I want to keep. I can even delete this one. I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to double click on the unzip folder, and you have the term of use, and you'll have the SVG file. So the SVG file, you'll find them. They have SVG in the name. You also have the PNG files to visualize them in your folder, because you cannot visualize an SVG file. And you'll also have a DXF file for the people that are using silhouettes. So in your case, if you're using Cricut Design Space as I am, you'll use the SVG file. SVG file has sometimes a different logo. So I have the Microsoft Edge logo here, but you might have a Google Chrome logo, you might have an Illustrator logo. So it can really be different things. So really make sure you get the SVG files right here. So we're going to go into Design Space. We're going to click on Upload, Insert Image, and you can either drag and drop the files here or just go to Browse and find them on your computer, Halloween Corner bookmark, and then you'll need to upload them one by one. I have 3 designs, so there's the cat. You can add a name, add a tag if you want. I usually don't do this. Go to Upload, and then do it again for the next 2 images. And then you can select the 3 of them and go to Add to Canva. I'm going to click next to it to deselect them and just move them around so we can see the 3 of them separately. So each of them are in a group, and the only operation we need to do is change the scoring lines to score instead of basic cut, because we don't want them to cut. So I'm going to go one by one. So the first one at the top is the cat. So let's just put the cat right here. And you're going to see it's made of multiple layers. Every corner bookmark will have a group inside the group. This group is the actual bookmark and not the design that goes on top. So the actual bookmark is made of 4 scoring lines and the base of the bookmark. In order to go to change the scoring lines like this and to attach everything, I'm going to need to ungroup the first group. So this is the only part where it's a bit complicated because you don't want to mix up your layers. So we're going to go one by one. It's really important to go and make them one by one so you don't get mixed up. So right here, I'm going to ungroup. And now I have all these layers. And as I said, this one is in a group. So this group, I'm going to go inside the group and select the scoring lines. You can identify the scoring lines anyway, my scoring lines, because you see only a line and they are set to red. And you're going to be wondering, why are these 2 lines one on top of the other? Well, I like it when it scores a lot, so I usually double my scoring line to make sure that the Cricut will go over twice so that it really scores well, even if you have the scoring stylus. So this one, with Shift, I can go and select the 4 of them, and instead of basic cut, I'm going to put them to score. Now, if you have a Cricut Joy, you won't have this option. You're going to, instead of score, you're going to come here and go to foil, and you won't even have the fine, medium, bold option. You'll only have foil, so you can really put foil instead of score and use the foil tip as I said previously. But now, this layer, the 4 scoring lines are there, but they are not attached. They are only grouped. So we really need to tell them that we want all of this group that I made especially for you with the background and the scoring lines. We want them to be attached so that they score on top of this layer. So you select the group and you select attach. Now when you do one of these operations, everything goes on top. So at the top of the layer panel, now I have attach and I have my cat bookmark. Now, because I don't want to get mixed up in my layers, I see now that I have this is now on top of everything else. So I'm going to send it to back. I'm going to select everything that is with the cat bookmark using my mouse like this, and then I'm going to group. This is a way for me to really keep my layer panel clean and not get mixed up. So once this is done, I'm going to close my group. And even if I really don't want to get mixed up, I'm going to rename this group. I'm going to rename by double clicking here and rename it cat. So I'm sure that this is my cat bookmark. Everything that's inside this group is my cat bookmark. I'm going to put it right there, and we're going to go for this call. Again, same operation. Let's ungroup. Let's go to this group, select by the layer panel, select the 4 scoring lines and put them to score. Select the group, attach, it goes on top. Let's send it to back. With the left button of my mouse, I'm going to drag and select everything, and I'm going to group. Again, it goes on top. I'm going to double click and rename this skull. Enter. And then I can close the group. So now I have my skull group, my cat group has reopened. I'm going to close it again. And there's only my web spider left to do. So let's do the same thing again. Pretty fast this time. Ungroup. Select the scoring lines. Put them to score. Select the group. Attach. Send it to back. Select everything. Group. Pretty fast. Spider, and here we go. So now we should be left with spider, skull, and cat, and everything, and my layer panels is clean and I'm not mixed up in anything. So we're going to be ready to make it, and you'll see that sometimes I want to change things around a little bit to really save some paper, especially for the white and the black. So you see here, I'm not really happy with this. I usually come and turn this around, maybe like this. Using shift, you can lock the position and really make it like that. That's something I like really better, to really save as much paper as I can. Let's see for the black. The black is not that bad. I might want to have the cat right here and put the spider like that, or something like this. Maybe that's better. So we're going to cut all of this. We need to continue and select the cardstock. So really select the appropriate materials you have. I do have 80-pound cardstock, so that's what I'm going to be using. If you have all the same material, you can click here to remember material settings. If you don't, you can select the material for each mat. You can even use some glitter cardstock if you would like, but I'm just using plain cardstock for this tutorial. Right here, if you have a maker, by default it's going to give you the scoring wheel. If you don't have the scoring wheel, you're going to edit tool and go to select the scoring stylus and click apply. If you don't have any of this, I'm going to cancel and show it to you what you can do with this. Yes, cancel the cut, cancel again. If you don't have any scoring tools, the only thing you can do, really easy, just close the eyes of the scoring layers. That way when you get to the mat, to the cutting part, it won't ask you for any scoring tools. Also, if you have a Cricut Joy, you need to come here and make sure the design is 4.25 inches. This is really the size you can cut with a Cricut Joy on a mat. So you can scale it down and make sure at least one of the dimension, either the width or the height, is 4.25. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put 4.25. And you see that it's going to scale it down on the other side too, and you'll be good to cut it with a Cricut Joy. So that's it, we're ready to cut. I'm going to be using a leftover cardstock I have because I found that I had enough space right here, and I placed my design accordingly in design space on the mat, so to make sure everything fits. And you can use a brayer to really press down your cardstock onto the mat, make sure everything is sticking. I'm going to be making just this one. Since I have a Maker 3, Design Space is asking me for the scoring wheels, so I'm going to remove my blade like this. And I'm going to add the scoring wheel. Scoring wheel has a number 1 on it. And I'm going to close it like that. If you have the scoring stylus with the Explorer or the Maker, you're going to use it in clamp A. You open it like that and you let it down. And you make sure that the little triangle here is hidden like this. And you hear the click that it makes. So you close it down like this. I'm not going to be needing this. I'm going to use my scoring wheel. So once the scoring wheel is done, Design Space is going to ask me to put back my blade. So I'm going to do that. If you're using the scoring stylus, you won't have anything to do. It will just score and cut in one time. So lucky for you. Okay, so I'm going to insert this and it's going to score. And I'm going to do all the cardstock and I'm going to come back to show you how to apply and add the glue to assemble everything. So everything is cut. I have put everything in a little dish like that because I know myself I'm gonna lose some pieces. I strongly suggest that you do so too. So before we assemble everything, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a little ink on the borders of my cuts. The only one I'm not gonna do is this little yellow piece, and I'm gonna explain to you why after. But it's pretty simple. I use this little dauber that I put on my finger. And I put some ink on, and I'm gonna go and just do the edge of everything I have here. Now, I have this little Q-tips that I'm gonna use also. Why? Well, the skeleton is a good example of this. It's because I have trouble going inside the eyes. It's not that bad, but inside the nose, I have trouble getting there. So I'm gonna use this little Q-tip to put a little bit of ink inside. You can also use the Q-tip to put it everywhere if you don't have this little tool, this little sponge. I'm even gonna put it on the black. You might think this is weird, but you do see it anyway. It really brings depth to the designs. So I'm gonna do all of this and I'm gonna come back and assemble it with you. So we're ready to assemble, and the only thing we need to figure out is what goes with what. So you'll see it's pretty simple. You can find a black one that has, you can see the little teeth. So for sure it goes with the skull. And the other two white, well, there's one that has those little waves. Well, this is the spider because it's going to follow the wave of the web. And the only one that has nothing, well, this will be the cat. And since the cat is going to go like this, I'm going to also add a little bit of ink right here at the bottom because it's kind of his chin. So I'm going to use my dauber and just add a little bit of ink right here. But as I said, totally optional. So to assemble them, you just need to fold on the folding lines. So we're going to fold first the triangle. So every time you see the triangle, you fold it first. And then you're going to fold the other piece onto it. And that's why I'm going to be using for this part some double-sided adhesive. This will really secure this part together before adding the rest of the cardstock. Sometimes what I don't like with this double-sided adhesive is that it doesn't go all the way to the corner, or I have trouble doing this, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue too in the corners. And while it dries, I'm going to put it under my mat. So to assemble the rest, pretty easy. The bow is going to go on the skull, of course. This is the only tricky part, and it's not really tricky. It's just that I didn't want you to glue the little yellow eyes, so I made a triangle like this underneath so that the yellow eyes will appear. You can also put it green if you want. I would like to have a cat with green eyes. It would be beautiful too. And you could add the ears like this, that's it, and the little nose. You just need to glue everything like this, and then we'll be ready to glue them to the base. And then we add it to the base, and I would tell you, once you have glued everything together, just put it back under your mat or under something heavy to make sure it really sticks before using them in a book. So our corner bookmarks are done, and they are pretty cute. Let me put them in the book. You just need to take a couple of pages and insert it like this, and it makes a super cute bookmark. So I have these 3 files, but if you want, as a bonus for you, you can check out below this video. You'll have another link to have more files. Let me show them to you. I really love them. You have the little skull that is the same as this one, but without a bow. I have a little pumpkin. Oh, you like this one? And this one is so cute. If you put it in the book, you're gonna see the smile. Like this. And I have a little witch hat. I have a little ghost that is so cute. I have this spider web also, but without the spider. And I have this little cute bat. He is also super cute because when you put it there, you see the little teeth. So you can go below this video and get them as a bonus for you, totally for free. Also, don't hesitate to check out my YouTube channel if you want to have more tips and tricks on Cricut Design Space and to be able to create with confidence with your Cricut. Thanks to Sarah for inviting me to this Halloween countdown. I was very happy to be here, and see you next time.
I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make Halloween corner bookmarks. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Halloween fun. I hope to see you tomorrow for day 7 of the Halloween craft countdown. Don't forget, the link to get the cut files for today's project is craftwithsarah.com/HCC23, but they are only free to download for 24 hours after this video goes live. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!